So this lesson we're going to try and add a few routes, and then we're going to make a small fix that just annoys me because whenever I start the application right now, this guy's hidden. So I have to click this whenever I restart. That's just annoying. So let's just start out by just going into our application right here and setting the navbar open to default by going into app components, TS file. I'll just default that to true right here instead of false. And that means that now the navbar will actually open on startup like this. So just setting this property right here is just a helper when we need to work with all these navigation properties right here. Okay, so the next step will be to kind of add a couple of buttons right here for now, just the two nav buttons that we can have, so we can go to the root or the home of the page and then to the actual albums page just to test that out. So let's figure out how to do that. I'm going to use a list, and I'm going to use a specific list. So I go under components, under material, under list, and then I scroll down. There's a very specific list called the navigation list right here. That's the one I'm going to use. So I'm just going to copy this guy. Now notice they're using a for loop right here, and we will change that into a for loop in a second. But let's not do that right now. App component HTML inside the mat side navbar now. I'm going to add such a nav list right here, and I'm just going to move everything we don't need like this. And let's just start out by making two of these tags. We have one for home and we have one for albums. That's all we're going to use for now. So there we go, home and albums. Now notice it doesn't know about a mat nav list. Well, that makes sense because it doesn't know about the list module at all. Now this is a full module. Again, if you forget which modules to use, just press the API for the area where you found something you want to use, and it'll pop up like this. You need to use the mat list module for using these components. Sweet. So I'll add that to my app module down here. I'll add this mat list module right here, and I'll just import that as well. So remember, you also have to import it, right? So there we go. Now it should start working, and this line should go away. Notice sometimes it takes a bit of time before it actually figures out, but there we go. Now it's actually not underlined with red anymore. So now we have two links. Let's see how it looks. Jumping back here, now we have two links. Notice I can hover them and I can click them to kind of jump between the pages, but nothing happens right now. We need one more thing, and that's what we call a router link. So let's add that, router link, and this guy is going to just simply point us to the front slash, meaning the home page, main page, back to the beginning. We're going to have another router link right below, and that's going to point us to /albums, right? That's the other route we have. So let's just have a look at our routing. We only have albums right now, but later on we're going to make a home page as well that we can use for whatever we want to use it for, right? So let's jump back here for home page and for the albums page. Let's jump back and try and click the home now. Nothing happens, but if we click albums, we're going to the albums page. Click home, we're going back to the home page, right? So you'll notice that I just add the /albums up there when I click this page. And that's all we had to do. I want to add one more thing. I want to add a few icons on this page as well. So we're just going to do that as well. So add mat icon like here, mat icon, and let's just call this, it's going to be called home because I know there's a home icon. You can go and check out the icon set if you want to. I'm also going to down here make an icon in front of the albums page, and we're going to call that a folder because that's kind of where all my files are going to reside. So just, yeah, that's just what I came up with. Now we need the mat icon, so we cannot use this either. Again, we need a module, and I know the icon module is called mat icon module like this. Now notice, as you start working more and more with this, it starts making a lot of sense when you work with these things. So to find the modules gets easier and easier. So I know it's a bit of a rough time in the beginning, but it really gets easier. There we go. Now we have these guys available as well. And let's have a look. Now we're getting two icons here on the side. I want to do a bit more because I kind of want to give a bit of space after these icons. So I'm going to do something that's not pretty for now, but just to show you guys, I want to do a margin right here, and I want to do a margin on both sides, both left and right. I want to put in 5 pixels. So just adding some basic inline CSS right here on the icons. Now notice this is stupid because I'm doing it for 2 components already. So there's a lot of things I could improve here, but I want to show you guys you can actually put style directly on your components if you want to. It's not something I encourage, but it's possible because instead let's make next lesson an icon so that it automatically has these margins. But there we go. Now we have a bit of margin between the icon and the text, and we can still click these guys as want to, jump between the 2 pages. So that's it for this lesson. Now we have navigation. Sweet. See you next time. Have fun.